ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ Faransé tí ń sọ gbódilé sọ̀gbẹ́dìgboro láwọn ẹsẹ̀ kùkú àti àwọn sàgọ́ dabúlé wa gbogbo nípasẹ̀ àjọ ìtírísí káràkátà àwọn èrè oko àápèsè lẹ́sẹ̀ kùkú ramp ìròyìn ayọ̀ rèé gẹ́gẹ́ bájọ ramp ti ṣe ṣetán láti máa ṣe àfihàn àti títa àwọn èrè oko wọn sáwọn ọjà ńlá tẹ́rẹ̀ gọbọi yóò sì máa wọlé. Lára ojúṣe àjọ ramp ni láti ṣe àtúnṣe àwọn òpópónà tí bùsọ̀ wọn ju ẹgbẹ̀rin, ṣíṣàtúnṣe ojú àgbàrá fáwọn afárá ìgbàlódé léyìí tí yóò jẹ́ kí fífẹsẹ̀ ba àwọn ìgbèríko ó di rọrùn, ìpèsè àwọn nǹkan èlò ọ̀gbìn ìgbàlódé, lílo àwọn tó wà lẹ́sẹ̀ kùkú fáwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ àti àtúnṣe ojú pópó téyì yóò sì pèsè iṣẹ́ káwọn ọ̀dọ́ ó túbọ̀ farajì síṣẹ́ ọ̀gbìn kí gbogbo wa rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ojúṣe wa láti dáàbò bo àwọn nǹkan èlò náà nítorí ọ̀pọ̀ àǹfààní ló rọ̀ mọ́ wọn. Fún àlàyé ẹ lè kàn sí ọ́fíìsì àjọ ramp nọ́mbà 87B Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ Way Alágbàká Àkúrẹ́. Ramp wo àrìnyè àrìntà àtàjèrè ìgbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn dé.
It's a place very close to you, a place easily accessible in a serene environment with adequate security. Ade Super Hotels Limited is the place with the state-of-the-art facility, spacious car park, air-conditioned rooms and suites with modern toilet facilities, standard swimming pool, well-stocked indoor and outdoor bathrooms, boardroom for corporate meetings, halls for all kinds of events and parties, a gymnasium equipped with up-to-date facilities, restaurants that provide local and continental dishes with special services for banquet and buffet. Laundry services are also available. At Ade Super Hotels Limited, you are assured of 24 hours power supply as well as best ever reception that you can imagine. Ade Super Hotel is located at Ilesha Road, PO Box 3028, Akure, Ondo State. Telephone 0803-440-4358, 034-206-855. Email adesuperhotels@yahoo.com. Website www.adesuperhotels.com. Ade Super Hotels Limited, hotel with passion for maximum comfort.
ọdún mẹ́wàá ṣe ló ṣe tuntun nínú ọkàn wa. Pa Samuel Akíndélé Awópẹ̀tù máa gbọ́run ṣọ̀run rẹ o. Jẹ́ kí n kú ikú olódodo kí ìgbà yìí mi sì dàbí tirẹ̀. Ṣé ló dàbí àná lójú wa? Láyàjọ́ ọjọ́ òní ọjọ́ keje nínú oṣù kejì 2015 tí akíkanjú ọkùnrin bàbá wọn abiyamọ tí kì í fọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ rẹ̀ ṣeré olóògbé Pa Samuel Akíndélé Awópẹ̀tù aka Arsenal wá sílẹ̀ lọ. Bàbá rere àrùn tí yín lónìí o àti lọ́jọ́ gbogbo. Ìlànà tẹ́ fẹsẹ̀ wálé là ń tọ̀ títí dòní. Àwa aya rẹ ọmọ àtọmọmọ ń ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn rẹ o. Olùfẹ́ wa òwọ́n ibi tẹ́ fàdàgbà ayé rọ̀ sí. Àwa ọmọ rẹ ló ti ń lò yòókù o. Wọ́lọ́mọ lè dọ́ka àti lè pẹ́kùn. Kùlè náà dá pẹ́kùn hàn pẹ́ran ní jẹ. Ó jòkó sórí egúrù ìṣàgbá ọni. Egúrù náà tètè kí kan tí kì í dọ́ka. Ọmọ ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ọmọ ìbọ̀rọ̀yìn ọmọ amúbọ̀rọ̀yìn jùṣu ọbùtún. Ọmọ iléèwò yéyé ọmọ iléèwò rẹ̀ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ògbóyè. Èwo rẹ̀ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kan gbórí. Ẹja bàtúrà ilé lúlẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀. Ọmọ irin ìjó kètèrè nájà. Ọmọ irin ṣubú àṣà yíyó. Ọmọ aláògùn àjílù gbìnrin léṣọ̀ọ̀ṣì. Ọmọ amúgbàgbọ́re ni sùnre lọ́rùn o. Gbogbo àwa aya rẹ ọmọ àtọmọmọ lórúkọ gbogbo ẹbí ló wípé ó dòwúrọ̀ ó tún dojú àlá abiyamọ mọ̀ jágbọ̀rọ̀ gbọ́rọ̀.
On the news tonight, INEC proposes creation of special court for electoral offences. Federal government recommends 12 years basic education, denies scrapping of junior secondary school education. Plus, Nigeria Ports Authority plans 15% tariff increase. Good evening and you are welcome on the news tonight. Many thanks for joining us. Now the news. Out of the 774 cases of alleged electoral offences in the 2023 general election, majority of the cases are still ongoing due to delay in the prosecution process. To this end, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu is appealing to the media to collaborate with the Commission in the advocacy for the creation of electoral offences tribunal. Mayor Ogidi reports that the appeal was made at a consultative meeting with media executives in Abuja.
A meeting between the pen and the ballot. The reporter being reported. 721 journalists covered the Edo governorship election. 700 deployed for the Ondo governorship election in 2024. Great partners, I must acknowledge your contribution to the growth of democracy in Nigeria. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu to the media chiefs. Yes, another task ahead. Anambra governorship polls November this year. FCT area council elections February next year. While plans are on for these two elections, by-elections also on standby.
There is an increasing number of by-elections to be conducted. In the last 3 weeks alone, vacancies have occurred in one federal constituency and 2 state constituencies. In another state, the State Assembly declared the seat of a member vacant as a result of absenteeism following the prolonged absence of the member from sittings of the House.
Sanitizing the electoral process, INEC's major area of concern. 774 alleged election offenders in the 2023 general election undergoing trial. Convictions secured in Akwa Ibom, Kebbi, and Kogi states, while arrests on vote buying by EFCC records successes in Lagos, Kwara, and Gombe states. But the delay in the process, a major wall standing against INEC efforts.
No priority attention is given to such cases as the courts deal with a variety of other issues. It is therefore imperative to renew our call for the creation of the Electoral Offences Tribunal that have a specific jurisdiction and limited time frame for the speedy dispensation of cases.
And that I think we should also encourage the National Assembly to set these things in motion so that there are just too many things that they are doing that they shouldn't be doing.
INEC, the oxygen to democracy, and it must be encouraged, the media chiefs promised. Mayor Ogedi, Nta Akure.
The federal government has debunked reports circulating in some media that junior secondary school and senior secondary school education have been scrapped. While addressing journalists in Abuja, the Minister of Education clarifies that the government is proposing an expansion of basic education to 12 years, ensuring a seamless learning experience without disruptions from the current 6334 system. He explains that this initiative aims to provide students with a full compulsory basic education, ultimately leading to better learning outcomes. As the federal government intensifies efforts at eradicating poverty through national social investment programs, it is pertinent to note that social involvement programs are not permanent solutions, rather a stopgap to serve as buffers to empowerment. Minister of State, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, who re-emphasized this on Good Morning Nigeria, says the ministry will deliver on the President's mandate of poverty reduction across Nigeria. Lydia Sampson reports.
The minister, however, reels out warning that those who dubiously made it to the register will be fished out to face sanctions, and those that are empowered will exit the social register so as to capture more deserving vulnerable persons. He noted this is key as social investment programs are vital for building stronger and more equitable societies. If properly implemented, social investment programs empower individuals and households to reach their full potentials. Now, despite suffering setback, the national social investment programs in Nigeria are proactively being reinvigorated for more robust impact. Gaston Good Morning Nigeria reels out what is being done differently in 2025.
As of today, we are working seriously, and Nigeria, that's our beginning point to validate the register, to expand its scope, and also to ensure that it's transparently generated, carrying the state and everybody along. And that's why in each of the state we have state coordinators who are working together with now to ensure we have this.
The key things that you have to pick to be able to just naturally radiate this is that data. You must have data. It's good that the ministers are both data people, and therefore you must be ICT savvy. If you don't know how to use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, and so on and so forth, you cannot do this job. And you must engage staff that has capacity and digital energy.
getting a digital identity for all those captured in its register, as against only 1.4 out of 5 million, the minister says is being prioritized to ensure no one is left behind.
What we are going to do with a lot of multinational organizations, see how can we improve their capacity and to ensure that when those offices are going to be these officers in charge must be free of political bias in terms of nomination.
The guests are unanimous that solid collaborations with states, local governments, non-governmental organizations and agencies with similar mandates must be deepened for a win-win that will earn the people's confidence and escalate government's efforts and ultimately creating a more prosperous future for all. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Nigeria's dry season has undergone significant changes with rising temperatures and more frequent dust storms. These environmental shifts are directly affecting public health, leading to an increase in respiratory diseases. In this special report, Bakis Jubril explores the link between climate change and the growing cases of respiratory illnesses.
In Nigeria, characterized by intense heat and prolonged periods of little to no rainfall, has become more extreme in recent years due to climate change. During this period, the country experiences soaring temperatures, dust storms, and poor air quality, leading to various health challenges, especially respiratory diseases. Some residents have shared their struggles during this harsh season.
One of the measures I'm taking is when I pass through the dust area, I try to make use of the nose mask, especially when I'm not driving. Probably I'm taking a motorcycle or wherever. I guide myself against that measure because I know if I'm going to contact that, it's going to take me a whole lot of time before I'm going to recover from that communicable disease.
Whenever we go out to guide against such, we put on our nose mask to prevent the dust, so that we may not we can prevent the catarrh. And most times, sometimes we keep our body hydrated every time, so that we can have a food in our system.
I drink more water now than before. Besides that, I take some of these mentors so that it will help me clear my respiratory tracts.
The combination of excessive heat, dust particles, and air pollutants has significantly impacted respiratory health. Conditions such as asthma, catarrh, tuberculosis, and other chronic respiratory illnesses are becoming more prevalent as the dry season reaches its peak.
Climate change impact is really affecting the health of the people, especially at this time, the issue of respiratory diseases. Because of the dry atmosphere we have, dusts are being raised, people inhale, and at the end, this can affect the respiratory diseases. For example, also people that are prone to asthma, people who are prone to pneumonia, also some condition, maybe night condition that are so cold, can increase the rate of patients for pneumonia.
With the increasing number of respiratory cases, health professionals have expressed concern and strongly recommend adequate hydration among other preventive measures to reduce the impact.
Respiratory diseases are diseases that are associated with the respiratory tract of human being, right away from the nose down to the trachea and onto the lungs. And when we look at this context, we can see that the respiratory tract of human beings are medically is divided into two parts. We have the upper respiratory tract and the lower respiratory tract. And when we talk about the upper respiratory tract, this starts from the nose down to the trachea, and the lower respiratory tract, is concerned with where the upper respiratory tract ends, and that is from the trachea to the lungs. So some diseases are common with the upper respiratory tracts, but are very rare in the lower respiratory tracts.
The dry season in Nigeria, typically lasting from November to March, continue to pose serious health risk, reinforcing the urgent need for proactive measures to protect public health. In Akure, Balkis Jubri, NTA News.
You are still watching the news. We'll go on a break. It continues after. Please stay with us.
Time is game on. Meet my SureBet Game Changer, made from natural ingredients to deliver game-changing chicken aroma and taste for my whole team.
Mom, why did we not use this before?
Upgrade your chicken game with game-changing chicken flavor from Maggi Chicken.
The counsel of our fathers.
Mealtime is game on. Meet my SureBet Game Changer, made from natural ingredients to deliver game-changing chicken aroma and taste for my whole team.
Mom, why did we not use this before?
Upgrade your chicken game with game-changing chicken flavor from Maggi Chicken.
The counsel of our fathers.
Mealtime is game on. Meet my SureBet Game Changer, made from natural ingredients to deliver game-changing chicken aroma and taste for my whole team.
Mom, why did we not use this before?
Upgrade your chicken game with game-changing chicken flavor from Maggi Chicken.
Many thanks for staying tuned. Now let's join Ellen Udubusi on Business News.
The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, says the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS) will roll out the contactless passport application system in Europe, the United Kingdom, and Ireland today. This initiative, set for launch on 7th of February 2025, will enable Nigerians in the diaspora to apply for and renew their passports online from the comfort of their homes. In another development, the Nigerian Ports Authority said it has secured necessary approvals for an upward review of its tariff by 15%, stressing that this was last reviewed in 1993. It said the move was necessitated by the urgency of bringing Nigerian ports up to speed with its peers in terms of infrastructure and equipment to ensure competitiveness at the ports. This came as operators at the ports declared that the implementation of the 15% port tariff hike would lead to a higher cost of doing business nationwide, as the cost of commodities would rise. And that's all on Business News. Helen Ndubisi, NTA News.
Up next is Sports Update with Olumide Eguntola.
As the Super Eagles are getting set for two crucial 2026 World Cup qualifiers next month against Rwanda and Zimbabwe, the new head coach of the team, Eric Chell, and his assistants are in England to work out modalities with Super Eagles players playing in the English top flight and the second-tier English Championship. The Super Eagles will be the guest of Rwanda's Amavubi on March 21st, and 4 days later welcome Zimbabwe to Uyo. Rwanda are top of Group C on same 7 points as South Africa and Benin Republic. Lesotho are 4th on 5 points, while the Super Eagles are 5th with 3 points. For Nigeria to stand any chance of qualifying for the 2026 World Cup, the Super Eagles must win all